And after all the hard work, after trying and trying and trying and failing and failing and failing, I can honestly say and go look myself in the mirror and say that I was a millionaire. I balled up in a fetal position in my bed and I cried my eyes out. I cried for probably about 30-45 minutes because I feel like I made it, man. I got $1 million. And I'm 23 years old at the time. I didn't even turn 24 yet. I went in that mirror and I stared at myself. I said, "You a millionaire," with tears running down my eyes. I said, "You a millionaire. You a millionaire out of Chicago, out of the hood, out of the streets. You seen all your friends get killed and you're a millionaire. This does not happen. This don't happen where I'm from, bro." In this video, I'm about to tell you the story of the day I became a millionaire at 23 years old. I'm also going to give you guys a lot of tips, a lot of tricks on how to do the exact same things that I did to become a millionaire. And I'm going to give you a lot of information, so just make sure you watch the entire video. I go by the name of Mula. I'm a popular YouTuber here on the platform. My biggest personal channel has 507,000 subscribers at the time that I'm recording this video. My second biggest personal channel has 212,000 subscribers at the time I'm recording this video. I also own multiple marketing companies such as real estate, social media, just to name a few. I own multiple properties. I own a lot of small businesses, and I do a lot of online sales that generate me money every single month. I'm now 25 years old, so I've been a millionaire for about 1.5 years, going on 2 years. And in these last 2 years, I have learned so much. But I will never, ever forget the day I became a millionaire. So I'm about to share that story with you guys right now. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and check out the rest of my channels. I have a daily lifestyle vlog channel that I think you would like. I have gaming channels, I have reaction channels. Just check out all my links, the link in the description. And if you want to tap into my mentorship, we have very limited spots open right now, so make sure you guys tap in. It's only $50, and I'm giving you one-on-one help in my group chat every single day to make sure you become a successful entrepreneur just like me. Okay, so for everybody that doesn't know, let me give you a little bit of backstory. So I've been doing YouTube since I was 12 years old. I was literally 12 years old the day that I started my very first YouTube channel. So from the age of 12 years old all the way up until 18 years old, I had so many different channels. I fell in love with YouTube at a very young age because I always wanted to be on camera. Somehow, some way, I had to be on camera. And I was always funny, right? So I thought that I would do maybe a little bit better on YouTube than I would do with music. I was always great in all arts. I could paint, I could draw, I could make music, I could rap, I could never sing. I could never sing, but I was funny, I was good on camera. I just felt like that's what I wanted to do. So I fell in love with YouTube once I realized that that's just like starting your very own TV show with no bosses, right? So from 12 to 18, like I said, I had YouTube channel after YouTube channel after YouTube channel after YouTube channel, and I was quitting and starting so many times because I was growing out of the things that I was doing channels about, right? So I had a channel for gaming, I stopped gaming. I had a channel for skateboarding, I stopped skateboarding. I had a channel for so many different other things. So when I turned 18 and I graduated, I was just about to graduate high school, I started my my channel, my Mula channel, which now has 500,000 subscribers. I started that channel March of 2017, so roughly about 3 months before I graduated, because a few reasons. I knew I wasn't going to college, right? I knew I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to be a lawyer, I didn't want to be a doctor, I didn't want to sit behind a desk and take orders. I didn't want a job, period, at all. So I didn't want to go to college. I didn't really play sports. I played basketball, but I blew my knee out a few times, so that was pretty much over with. And I was just on a course of like, I need something that I can hold on to, and like, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to pursue. This is what I'm going to chase. So I made the channel. I called it Mula. You know what I'm saying? I had that nickname for a little minute. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I was always getting to a little bit of money, even though it might have been illegal at times. You know what I'm saying? But I was getting to that money, bro. So they called me Mula. And so I made that channel in 2017, and I said, I'm not gonna quit. No matter what, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna get this channel to blow up, and I'm gonna get rich off of it, right? So it wasn't until 2021, at the very tail end of 2021, that channel started taking off. So when that channel took off, that's when I started making 5 figures a month. Now, slightly before that channel took off, I had a few months where I made 50,000, 30,000, right? But I had to split it up and I had to pay people for it. So it really wasn't that much. I probably, at the time that my YouTube channel blew up, I probably had maybe $20,000 to my name altogether, maybe $20,000, $30,000. So really no money at all, right? And I knew that I had no money. I knew that I couldn't afford to just do whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it. But when my YouTube channel blew up, I knew that that was the key to become a millionaire, because my first goal throughout it all was always $1 million. Yes, I wanted to hit 100,000, 200,000, half a million, 750, then $1 million. Yes, I had those goals, but my main goal that I wanted to hit was $1 million net worth, right? So watches, cars, whatever it is, whatever my net worth is, I wanted it to be $1 million. And I had that in my sights. I had that in my vision. I needed it. And honestly, YouTube wasn't paying the bills. For somebody to make $1 million a year, you have to be making $100,000, about $80-something thousand a month off of just YouTube, if that's what you want to do, right? To do that, you're going to need at least 1 million subscribers for the most part if you want to have those type of revenues coming in from YouTube. But I was still getting millions of views, and I knew that if I took those millions of views and capitalized off the attention that it was getting, I could get rich extremely fast, right? So at the time, my YouTube channel was growing, it's growing. It started growing in November. By December, I had maybe a little less than 100,000 subscribers, and I was making that close to $100,000 a month, right? So I made $100,000 December. I made $100,000 in January of 2022. I made $100,000 February, and I made $100,000 in March. So in 4 months, I made $400,000. At that point, I knew I was on to something. The first month that I made $100,000, I'm thinking in my head like, this could be a fluke. I'm not gonna spend no money. I'm talking about I didn't buy nothing. Did you hear what I said? I might have went to Macy's and bought a $75 jacket. I might have. But for the most part, I didn't take no trips. I didn't buy no jewelry. Well, I did buy a chain. I will say that I did buy a chain because I feel like it was good to market myself with. So I bought my GBF chain and these 2 tennis chains later. But I didn't go nowhere. I didn't buy anything. I didn't do nothing that wasn't contributing to my business, right? So as I'm stacking my money, after a while, I bought a brand new Mac, right? So I spent $2,000 on a Mac to upgrade my equipment, and I bought a new camera. So I spent about $4,000 or $5,000 altogether to upgrade all my equipment to make my content better for YouTube, since I was getting paid off of it now, right? But like I said, I knew I had to use the attention the right way to get money, the money that I wanted, right? So I did that. I made $400,000 4 months straight. Now, right before my YouTube channel blew up, I got a $30,000 check from real estate marketing. So I met somebody who was getting into real estate. He bought a set of duplexes and triplexes, multi-family homes, and he fixed them up nicely, and he used me and my company to help sell them, fill them up, and then eventually sell the entire real estate project. So when all of that got done, when the first part of that got done, I got $30,000 that I had to split 2 ways. So we got $30,000. I took home $15,000, right? When I got the attention, I knew it was on, because I was getting 2-3 million views per month. I'm getting 100,000 people watching my face every single day, not month, not other. Every single day there was 100,000 people watching me, right? And I knew I could maximize off of that. So I'll tell you exactly what I did. The first thing I did is I pushed the membership. The same membership that I have right now, I pushed that. Not because I was going to make profit off of it, but because I knew if I built a solid community of like-minded entrepreneurs who wanted to do the same things that I was doing, whether that be YouTube, business, Amazon, social media, crypto, stocks. I was into all that at that time. I knew if I could teach everybody, people like you, the things that I knew about all of that stuff, I knew that I can make some sort of revenue off of, and most importantly, I knew I could gather a community of people who were all like-minded, and I can meet a lot of people and use those networks to make myself richer, right? So that's exactly what I did. In my membership, I ended up teaching someone the business, crypto, and stocks, everything that I was doing, even YouTube. I taught one person. In 4 months, that one person went from working a minimum wage job at Target. In 4 months, he went from Target to $175,000 in a year, right? So that's what he was on track to make. So whatever that is a month, he was making that every month for 4 months straight. I pretty much changed his life. That person went on to be a very, very, very rich person by the time I moved to Los Angeles. So I blew up while I was still living in Atlanta. I moved to Los Angeles in July of 2022. So by the time I moved, shortly after I moved to Los Angeles is when I became a millionaire, and I used my networking skills to get there. So I moved to LA in July. It takes me a little while to settle in. As I settle in, that same person that I was mentoring lived in Los Angeles, right? He knew a lot of people who were investing into real estate. I have a real estate marketing company, right? So I used that connection to get close with those investors of real estate. I then, after a long time, a lot of savvy talking, a lot of meetings, a lot of hard work, a lot of no's, I ended up getting a yes, right? I got a yes and ended up signing a contract for real estate marketing that was worth well over 7 figures, right? So this 7 figures extended across a good amount of time. I think at the time it was about 2.5 years. So I was roughly making, from this one contract, my company was making about $400,000, and it took 2.5 years to complete to get that $1 million, which obviously 2.5 years is not even up yet, but that's how long it's going to take to get $1 million in my pockets, right? So after I pay my employees, after I pay for everything that I have to pay for, the small things, I was going to walk away from that $1 million. I'm going to walk away with $500,000 personally cash, right? I ended up negotiating a little bit, got that same person to add more projects to the deal, which gave me more contracts, and that's how I became a millionaire. So the day that I actually did it, right, the day that I actually signed that contract, I felt like I became a millionaire, but in my head, I really wasn't, because I didn't have $1 million cash. I didn't have $1 million in watches, $1 million in the houses, $1 million in real estate, $1 million in cash. I didn't have $1 million nowhere. I didn't have nothing worth $1 million that I could go touch or sell to get me that cash. I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't personal. So I had about $600,000-$700,000 cash saved up that invest in stocks, crypto, real estate, this business, that business, this savings account, this trust, right? I had money spread out, but it still wasn't $1 million. So I let that same real estate person, this one day, and I have been asking him so many times, I said, listen, if we do good business with you, if you think that we are competent, if you thought we were competent enough to secure your real estate deal and make you richer, would you be willing to refer us to bigger investors? He said yes. It was no contractual agreement on that agreement, but he said yes. We got those real estate projects sold in 3 weeks. 3 weeks after he said yes, we got those real estate projects sold. So he bought a bunch of different houses in the neighborhood, a bunch of different properties, some land, some duplexes. He bought a lot of properties. This is a very rich man I'm talking about in Los Angeles. If I said his name, you would probably have heard of him before. Very rich man, right? We got connected to him, and he wanted to buy the projects from the person that we were marketing for. Now, when that person said, okay, but those projects, those properties are already in contract with me, my company. So he told that person paid to get those contracts moved over to him now, right? Because there was no legal obligation for me to do that for him. It was only legal obligation for me to do that for the person that signed the contract with. So when those real estate projects sold, it was kind of like up in the air. I was still owed the money, but not from the person who was buying the projects, if you're staying with me, right? The person who was buying the projects ended up signing on. So I got that first $1 million, right? And they put us on a payment plan, but I got that first $1 million. It was supposed to take 2.5 years. I got that first $1 million in a few months, right? My company did. And that's the day I became a millionaire, when all those accounts started stacking up, and I became a millionaire. And I remember looking at my phone, and I looked at my bank, and at my bank it said $1 million. It was, I can tell you the exact number to this day. It was $1,004,022.16. Exact numbers I can tell you to this day. I looked at my account when that money hit, and after all the hard work, after trying and failing, I can honestly say and go look myself in the mirror and say that I was a millionaire. That was the day that changed my life. I would never, ever forget that day. Ever in my life. Ever forget that day that I was actually a millionaire. Not in net worth, none of that. I'm talking about money in the bank. $1 million. Now I knew that I had to move my money around smartly and invest my money the right way to avoid taxes, and also to just avoid falling in the financial hole. The last thing I was gonna do was get all this money, fuck it off, and be like, what happened to all the money? No, it was not finna be Mula. I seen it happen. So I heard so many stories. I seen it happen so many times. I blew through money so many times. I used to be in the streets making for a 15-year-old making $1,000, $2,000 a week. That's pretty good, but I was blowing it as fast as I was getting it. Hey, tell all the girls from the block we finna go to the movies. I'm finna buy every seat in the movies, and we finna watch the movie. We finna have some, everybody get whatever they want to eat. And yeah, I spent a whole $1,000, $2,000 in a day at 15, 16 years old, just doing quote-unquote lit stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I had already been in a position where I blew my money, didn't have none, didn't have no savings, didn't have no investments, didn't know what to do with it, and I refused to let that happen again. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I had to spend that million, and I knew that it wasn't gonna say $1 million cash in my bank account for too long, but it said it right there. And when I tell y'all, I stared at that for so long. And if y'all know me, I smoke weed. You know, weed helps me focus. It helps me be creative. It helps me get a lot done. I sat there and stared. I turned my on my phone. I turned my display to never turn off. I put my phone against the island in LA, my LA penthouse. I had a big old island. I put that against like a plant or something and had my phone just sitting up, and I was smoking back to back, just staring at my phone. And I would not lay eyes off. I didn't watch TV. I didn't call nobody. I didn't tell nobody. I'm just looking at my phone like, wow. The more I sat there, the more emotional I got. I got teary-eyed. I went in my room. I laid down. At the time, if y'all see that YouTube plaque right there, my 100,000 subscriber plaque from my main channel. I got that pretty early. When I got that plaque, I grabbed it. I held it like it was an NBA Finals trophy, and I cried my eyes out while I was still in Atlanta. Wasn't a millionaire at the time, but I wanted to be famous, popular, and rich off YouTube so bad. It's all I wanted. All I wanted was to be a YouTuber, a successful one. Somebody that can send his mama money, or can provide for himself, have money for his kids if he had them, you know what I'm saying, have nice cars, have a nice house. That's all I wanted, bro. And when I got it, I cried. I grabbed that same plaque. I grabbed my phone. I falled up in a fetal position in my bed, and I cried my eyes out. I cried for probably about 30, 45 minutes because I feel like I made it, man. I got $1 million, and I'm 23 years old at the time. I didn't even turn 24 yet. You know, I turned 24 that October of 2022. I turned 24. You know what I'm saying? But I moved to LA in July. So it only took me about 2.5 months before I turned 24 to become a millionaire. So I was a millionaire at 23 years old. And I wasn't famous. I didn't have no platinum plaques. I didn't have no record deal. I was famous enough to get noticed at the mall and on the street and stuff like that. But I wasn't abruptly overly famous. I wasn't Kim Kardashian. I wasn't a rookie in the NFL. This is all me. I didn't have no help. I didn't have no cameraman. I didn't have no editor. I didn't have no thumbnail guy. I didn't have no business manager. I didn't have somebody telling me what videos to post. I didn't have nobody teaching me business. I didn't go to college, and I was a millionaire. And that was the best fucking feeling in the world. I went in that mirror and I stared at myself. I said, "You a millionaire," with tears running down my eyes. I said, "You a millionaire. You a millionaire out of Chicago, out of the hood, out of the streets. You seen all your friends get killed and you're a millionaire. This does not happen. This don't happen where I'm from, bro. A 23-year-old black man is rich legally, a legal millionaire who didn't get signed, didn't play a sport, didn't rap. I was more rich off business than I was even YouTube. So I was just a millionaire businessman. And that sent me through a long next few months of just feeling like unstoppable. Like, I was already spending money, you know what I'm saying? Because if y'all go watch one of the first videos I posted on this channel, I teach you how to organize your money to make you rich, right? In that video, I told you that as soon as I get every dollar I get, I put 20% into an account that I call the fuck off account. Right? So in this account, I can spend this money to $0 if I wanted to. You feel me? But once that money hits $0, I can no longer go to parties if I want to. I can't buy cars. I can't buy clothes. I can't buy no stupid shit because only 20% of my money is what I ball with. Right? 20%. Now, I had another 20% of my money in an expense account. So that money was stacking and saving for so long before I moved to LA that I had 4 or 5 years of expenses sitting in that account. 20% of my money. Another 20% went to the savings account, and another 40%, the rest of the 40% went to investments, right? So I had a lot of money stacking in my fuck off account before I even started spending it. So I probably had a few $100,000 sitting in that account before I even started spending the money. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm just out balling out of control. When I became a millionaire, boy, I can't even talk to y'all about the shit that I did. I'm talking about I'm taking helicopters to meetings for no reason. No reason. I'm in LA. We taking helicopters downtown to Malibu, back downtown for absolutely no, just because I'm rich. Just because I'm rich. I haven't called a regular Uber since that day. Only Uber Blacks. Most times I have driver, like personal drivers, like, you know what I'm saying? I bought jewelry. I have a $100,000 watch on right now. $100,000 rose gold AP. I bought jewelry. I got Cartiers on. You know what I'm saying? Plain Jane though. Plain Jane. We keep our money. You know what I'm saying? We keep our money in them pieces for real. We don't do none of that stupid stuff. Diamond flooded out aftermarket. Fuck all that. You know, if you see me with a diamond watch, only have one diamond watch. It's my first watch. It got a diamond bezel on it. Diamond Rolex. That's the only aftermarket watch I got. Every other watch I got is plain. You know what I'm saying? Only time you'll see me with a diamond watch other than that one is if it's factory. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all know about watches, y'all know what I'm saying right now. Only reason I even have diamond watches in my first Rolex is because it's my first ever watch, my first Rolex, and I refuse to ever sell it. I'm gonna give that Rolex to my son. He gonna give it to his son, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I start buying jewelry. That's when I start doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I started talking to like a lot of little famous girls in the industry in LA and Hollywood, and that's when my life kind of like flipped and turned. And then, honestly, lo and behold, I turned 24 in October. I was already a millionaire. That March of 2023, I think it was March, I made my first and only time I made $1 million in a month. So I went from a millionaire in less than a year. I made that $1 million that I had, I made that in 30 days. So that's how fast elevate. In the next month, I made like 87,000. I'm gonna tell you something right now. So that's how much business can go up and down, which is why it's important to hold on and do right with your money. But man, that day I became a millionaire, bro, it was that day is like no other. And I'll never forget that day. Like, I'm gonna be old as hell on a rocking chair somewhere telling my great grandkids about the day your great granddaddy became a millionaire. And the reason why you sitting here and all my grandkids pulling up in Ferraris and Lamborghinis and G-Wagons and $1 million Bugattis. And the reason that all y'all pulling up like this was because of this day, because of the day your great-granddaddy, your granddaddy, your daddy became a millionaire. And I can't wait to tell that story. I never told that story publicly. The only person that even know that story for real is like my girlfriend and my best friend G-Dot. You know what I'm saying? My mama don't even know that story. Like, I didn't call nobody, I didn't tell nobody, I didn't post it on Instagram, none of that. You know what I'm saying? The only person that knew was my homie for the longest, and my now girlfriend knows the story. You know what I'm saying? I told her before, but that's it. I didn't do no bragging, I do no talking, I never did no speaking on it publicly on a live stream, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So that was the time where your boy Mula became a millionaire. And if you want my help to become a millionaire just like me, no matter what age you are, make sure you tap into the mentorship. It's only $50. That's less than $2 a day. $50 a month is less than $2 a day. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You spend more than $2 on that girlfriend you got. You spend more than $2 a day on coffee. You spend more than $2 a day on getting to work. You spend more than $2 a day going to the club. You spend more than $2 a day on shoes. You spend more than $2 a day on clothes a month, your haircut. You can spend less than $2 a day, $50 a month to learn how to get rich. Now, you might not get rich overnight. You're not going to get rich overnight. I can guarantee you that. Because I didn't get rich overnight. This story might have been about one day, but the journey started at 12. Really, the journey started at 7, 8, 9 years old when I looked on TV and said, I want to be on TV. I want to be on somebody's TV screen. I want somebody to watch me. I want somebody to be a fan of me. It started back then. It started when I was 10 years old and my dad bought me Sony Vegas, editing software, and I'm sitting in the living room learning how to edit videos. I'm sitting in the living room. My mom bought me my first camera for Christmas, and I'm sitting in on my room figuring out how to work cameras and looking up how to work camera angles and figuring out audio and microphones. And it started back then, bro. So you talking about at least 12 years of work that I put in, that I did to get there. You're not gonna get rich overnight, but I promise you, if I had somebody like me willing to teach me the things that I teach you in this mentorship, it would have took me max 3 years to get rich. 3 years to get rich. Max. Absolute max. Probably shorter than that to get decent. Maybe not a millionaire in 3 years, but I would have definitely been making 6 figures a year if I had somebody like me teaching you what I'm going to teach you if you tap into my mentorship. I'm going to give you videos teaching you every lesson you need to learn about entrepreneurship, and I'm going to give you a group chat access that's going to give you call outs for crypto, call outs for the stock market, and I'm going to give you one-on-one help in the direct messages of my group chat to help you with whatever entrepreneurial problem you may have and help you navigate through the entire journey one-on-one for $50 a month. You have to tap in. The link is in the description. Do not sleep. Stop procrastinating. Stop saying you're going to do it next weekend and next weekend and next weekend. Do it now. It's your boy Mula, and I love you. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.